Can't wait for your next visit.
Eh?
You do want us to get together again, don't you?
Oh, yeah, sure, but I already fixed the machine. I won't be back.
Oh, you could be. And why don't you make something around this joint fall apart? I reckon a bloke with your talent said it'd be dead easy.
Well, look, I've got to go back to work now, Jill. But I'll come and visit you again soon, and, well, perhaps we could have a day out together. We could even go and see Major. Or anything else that you want to do. What do you say?
Thank you, Miss Ferguson. I'm glad you came.
I'm glad it's not me going through all that. 'Cause if it was up to me, I'd give it away.
Well, thank God everybody's not like you. You wouldn't do anything like that, would you, love?
Well, as a matter of fact, that's just what I'm going to do.
$20,000?
Well, it's got to be the easiest money I've ever made. I'll be living off the fat of the land.
Yeah, in more ways than one, eh?
How come you're in here instead of maternity?
When those silly chooks up in maternity found out why I was having this kid, they turned all broody on me. All bloody high and mighty, as if they was doing something special and I wasn't.
Yeah, well, I reckon they're right.
Oh, come on, Lizzie.
Well, having a kid is one thing.
No kidding.
Well, you know what I mean. It's natural. But I don't reckon it should be done for the dough.
Why not? I mean, they've got the money and no kid. I've got the kid and no money. A fair swap, eh?
Yeah, I suppose.
Well, what are you going to do about the kid?
I'll just hand it over, pick up the second half of me money, and I'm on a pig's back.
And you reckon it'll be that easy?
Yeah, no sweat.
We'll see, love. We'll see.
You really reckon you'll just be able to hand it over?
Can hardly wait. I've got to anyway. I don't get the rest of me money.
I see.
You know, Max, I'm real surprised you haven't gotten into this. Beats selling it on the streets.
Never thought of it. Never had the offer either. How'd you manage it?
I saw this ad in the paper. Of course, it didn't come right out and say they were looking for someone to play mothers and fathers. But they were offering good money for the right type. Well, you know, physical type.
And you were it.
It must have been. Plenty of others. But I reckon they chickened out when they found out what the Sheldons wanted.
What did you actually have to do?
What do you reckon? Come on. You don't find babies in a cabbage patch.
His wife didn't care.
Dunno. Never really talked about it. But I reckon they were pretty desperate for a kid. She didn't care how they got it. Must be mad.
What was he like?
What do you mean?
You know, in bed.
You've heard about falling asleep on the job?
Your solicitor's here, Carlson.
Thank you. Have you heard any news of Jilly?
Yeah, I went to see her earlier today. She's all right. She's a little confused about what's happening to her, but I think she's in the best place at the moment.
I used to think the best place for a child was with its mother. Will you be seeing her again?
Yeah, I promised that I'd try to see her again if I could.
I hope you can. Tell her that I love her and that I'm sorry.
I just think it's a pity you went as far as you did. Were things really that bad?
They seemed so at the time.
That's the freak. So, well, I reckon she's trying to move in on Colson, the killer lady and the lady killer.
It's a shame you couldn't have talked to someone. Maybe they could have helped you.
I don't think so. I don't think anything would have changed, Des. He always managed to ruin everything. It's probably as much my fault as his for letting him do it. I couldn't let him wreck Jilly's life the way he wrecked mine.
Jill'll be all right.
I just couldn't see a way out for us both. I had to get her away from him. I had to. Now I've lost her. She must hate me. Maybe she is in the best place now with people who can look after her. Away from me.
What the hell do you think you're doing, Daniels?
Just passing, Miss Ferguson.
And I suggest you keep on just passing.
Of course, Miss Ferguson.
Move, Daniels. You'll be on a charge. Move it, Colson. Your solicitor's waiting.
G'day. Well, well. If it isn't our very own walking baby factory.
What's the matter with you?
Nothing's wrong with me, Bradshaw. But I reckon anyone who'd sell their baby is going to be pretty sick.
Oh, come on, Bea, she's doing it as a favour.
Oh, yeah, she's all heart. Of course, there's nothing in it for her, is there?
I've got my reasons.
So I've heard. 20,000 of them.
So I'm getting paid for it. So what? It's no crime.
Well, it is, as far as I'm concerned, and that goes for a few of the other ladies around here.
Too bloody right.
Look, if it wasn't me doing it, it'd be somebody else. It's not my fault they can't have kids. I'd have to be some sort of a mug to turn down an offer like this.
Yeah, I'll drink to that.
You shut up.
And give it a rest. Say she's knocked up and making money out of it. Seems like a pretty good deal to me.
Oh, I just can't understand how anyone could give away their own little baby.
Best thing to do with the little buggers.
You don't know what you're talking about.
No, you wait till you have one of your own. You'll soon change your tune.
Not me, darling. Careful Carter's the name.
Well, there seems to be a difference of opinion around here, but let me just remind you that I happen to be Doc Dog here, and I don't like what you're doing. So you keep your nose clean and you keep out of my way, or we'll be having more than words.
Mr. Stockwell, Carol Colson.
Thank you.
I'll wait outside.
Oh, no, please stay.
It's not the usual practice.
Well, it's all right if she stays, isn't it?
Well, Miss Ferguson could be called by the prosecution to testify against you.
Well, that's all right. I'd like her to stay.
Very well, if you're sure that that's what you want.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Mrs. Colson, I have to be fairly blunt with you, I'm afraid. I've looked through the psychiatric report on you, and though there may be a possible plea of temporary insanity, I think we'd be most foolish to try it. Based on the evidence that we have to hand, I think that it is most unlikely that you'll get away with anything less than a charge of murder. You don't look surprised.
I killed my husband. I realise I'll have to pay for that. I'll probably do it again.
Mrs. Colson, I must warn you to be careful what you say.
It doesn't matter. The only regret I have now is that by the time I get out of here, Jilly will be almost grown up and I'll be a stranger to her.
Perhaps by then she'll be more able to understand the reasons for what you did. Of course, you can rest assured she'll be well taken care of.
Thank you for being honest with me. Perhaps you're right about Jilly. Let's hope so. Looks like we got the morning off, girls.
Oh, geez, careful, girls. The freak's friend's here. Cuddles Colson.
The freak?
Yeah, Miss Bloody Ferguson.
Why do you call her that?
Cop little Miss Innocent. Come on, Roxy and me saw you together. Real close, if you ask me. Hey, Roxy.
No, it's not like that. She's been very good to me. Now, you listen to me. No one in here likes Ferguson. So you better decide which side your bread is buttered on and make some new friends. Quick, smart.
Look, you don't understand. If it hadn't have been for her, I might have done something really awful.
Oh? I thought you already had.
I know. I just thank God Miss Ferguson was there to take the knife off me.
What? That was Ferguson? It was her they were talking about on the telly.
I don't know. But if she hadn't been there, I might have killed my own daughter. I owe her.
Bradshaw, come with me. You've got a visitor.
God, Bea, who would have thought that Fergo would do anything good for anybody?
Yeah.
Reckon she should have done us all a favour and knocked off the freak, too.
Just knock when you're finished. I'll be outside.
Thank you.
Right. Let's have the good news.
There isn't much of that, I'm afraid.
Well, what do you mean?
I mean, you have managed to chalk up a fairly impressive list of convictions.
But I'm innocent this time.
Of course. But it's not as though you're a first offender. It could go against you.
Yeah, but it's different now. I didn't do nothing. Anyway, they're not going to lock up somebody who's about to have a kid any minute, are they?
That depends on the judge.
If you can't get me off, I want somebody who can.
I don't think it is possible. And I think you'd find it a very expensive exercise.
Big deal. I got plenty of dough in the bank and plenty more coming to me. So money's not important.
Well, there must be a legal eagle around here who can help me with some loophole.
Miss Bradshaw, I'm afraid that you would be wasting your money. Money that at the moment you can't afford.
What do you mean?
The police think that all your money has come from fencing stolen goods. So they've frozen all your assets until they prove otherwise.
How long is that going to take?
It could take several months.
You mean I've got all that money and I can't use it?
Yes. I'm afraid you are, in effect, broke.
Who do you want to speak to?
David Sheldon?
Goodbye, Miss Parr. See you next time.
Bye, Mr. Alcott.
David Sheldon, please.
Goodbye, Miss Bradshaw. Best of luck.
David, this is Roxy.
Where the hell have you been? Is everything all right?
Well, that depends on what you mean.
With our baby, of course.
Coming along real good.
Terrific.
Actually, David, I need to talk to you real soon.
Well, I'm really tied up at the moment. Can it wait till tomorrow?
No, it bloody can't.
All right. Well, I'll try to get round to see you after work tonight.
You better make it today, David. I don't think they let you in at night.
What are you talking about?
Where do you think you're going, Smith?
Just filling in time, Miss Ferguson. The machines aren't fixed yet.
Well, we'll just have to find something else for you to do.
Oh, I'll be okay. As a matter of fact, I've just finished having a chat with your little friend.
What are you talking about?
They say that danger brings people closer together. That situation at Carol Colson's place certainly was dangerous, wasn't it?
As usual, Smith, you don't know what you're talking about.
No? I heard you and Colson were very close.
Colson was a neighbour of mine, Smith. She is now an inmate here and will be treated the same as everyone else.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, you just tell her to keep to herself, because we don't care whose friend she is. We don't like her.
No physical contact.
She's my sister.
Rules, Colson.
How do you stand it? It's not so bad once you get used to it. Oh, I don't think I could ever get used to it. Surely life with Des couldn't have been worse than this. It was, Pam. Well, why didn't you tell us? I tried, but I couldn't talk about it on the phone. It was so hard to explain. You should have come home. What with? Tasmania's not so far away, but we could never afford it. Every time we had a bit put by, Des would spend it down the pub or gamble it away.
What are you going to do now?
I'm hardly in a position to plan ahead, am I?
But what about Chili?
Well, I'd hoped that Mum and Dad could look after...
They couldn't manage a child? You know Mum's not well. Dad has his hands full just looking after her.
But surely they could manage just
They
for...
don't want anything to do with you. I'm sorry.
I don't suppose you and Dave could look after her for me.
Dave's just got his promotion. It means that we've got to move overseas.
Oh, couldn't you take Jilly with you? I'd pay you back as soon as I could.
We talked about it before I came to see you. Dave feels that having a child Jilly's age would be detrimental to his career, and I agree with him.
We're talking about a child's life. She's your niece. I don't want Jilly growing up in a welfare home. Pam, you're her last chance. Please.
I'm sorry, Carol, but we've got our lives to lead too.
Right, you lot, the holiday's over.
Oh, did you get the machines fixed?
No, not yet.
When are they going to get around to it?
Oh, I didn't know you were so concerned about your work.
I'm not. But it beats sitting round on your bum doing nothing, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, don't worry. I've found something that'll keep you all occupied.
And what's that?
Proofreading leaflets from the workshop.
Oh, good.
Oh, no, don't worry. You can work in pairs, if that'll help you with the 2-syllable words.
Oh, bloody reading. I'm sick of reading.
Lizzie, I didn't know you could.
Oh, what's the matter, love? What happened?
Hey, Lizzie.
I don't believe this. I've called 3 times about those machines and they still haven't sent anyone.
No. Oh, look, I've got the women proofreading in the recreation room, so they won't be causing any trouble.
Well, that's not the point. If we don't get that hospital in and done in time, we could lose the contract.
Yes, I know. Well, anyway, it'll keep the rest of them away from Colson for a while.
Why, has there been trouble?
No, not yet. But Smith let me know what they think of her, and believe me, they don't like her very much at all.
Damn. Any idea why Smith told you?
No, not really. They're only giving her the silent treatment at the moment, but that could change any minute.
And Colson, how's she taking it?
Not too well. And she won't improve either until she gets a visit from her child.
That could take some time.
Yes, I know. And that's why I told her that I would visit Jill as soon as I...
I appreciate what you're trying to do, but I'm a bit worried about your personal involvement. Apart from anything else, it could give the other prisoners the wrong idea. Perhaps that's why Smith chose to tell you how they feel.
Is there any rule stating that I can't visit the child?
No, I'm not quoting rules.
Good. Then if you'll excuse me, Governor, I'm on a split shift today and I have quite a bit to do.
I'll get it, Coral. Good morning, Wentworth Detention Centre. May I help you?
Yes, I'd like to know when your visiting hours are.
Well, first of all, I have to ask you who you'd like to see.
Roxanne Bradshaw.
And you are?
My name is David Sheldon.
Mr. Sheldon, I'm Anne Reynolds, the gardener. Are you a relative?
Well, not exactly a relative.
I see.
It is fairly important that I get to see her.
Well, perhaps if you tell me the nature of your business with Roxanne, we can arrange something.
It's personal.
Mr. Sheldon, unless you can tell me the purpose of your visit, I'm afraid I'll have to refuse permission.
Well, I'm the father of her child.
I see. When would you like to visit her?
This afternoon.
All right, Mr. Sheldon, we can arrange that for you.
Good. Good, thank you.
Hello, Jill. How are you today?
Good, thank you.
Look, I've got some spare time today. I thought we might be able to do something.
What?
Would you like to go to the zoo?
Oh, yes, please.
Right, you run along inside and see if it's all right then. She seems to have adapted quite well.
Yes, it does seem that way. Oh, she's a good kid. Good-natured and eager to please. Sometimes a little too eager.
Oh?
Suppose she's just looking for attention.
You can hardly blame her after what she's been through.
No, I'm just waiting for the questions to start.
Questions?
You know, the sort of thing, where's Mummy? When can I go home again? When can I see Daddy? You know, so far, she hasn't even mentioned that night.
Is that unusual?
Yes, it is. Kids are usually pretty honest. I'm just worried that she's bottling it up.
Oh, God, I'm sick of this. Oh, Mrs. Powell, haven't they fixed those bloody machines yet? I reckon my eyeballs are dropping out from reading all this rubbish.
Why don't you wear your new glasses?
Oh, I forgot.
All right, ladies, the repairman's just arrived, so you should be able to go back to the laundry by this afternoon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, who'd they send, Mrs. Powell? Not that same bloke, I hope.
Yes, unfortunately. Hope he does it better this time.
Yeah, me too.
Right, well, I need 2 volunteers. If he makes the same mess as he did last time, 2 lucky ladies will have to mop it up.
Oh, yeah, I'll be in that, Mrs. Powell.
Right, who else? Lizzie, aren't you keen to get back to the laundry?
Oh, no. I'm getting bug-eyed from all this reading I'm doing. I don't reckon I'll be able to see the water.
Suppose not. Okay, Hunt, might as well be you.
Why me?
Oh, why not you? Get out. Thank you for volunteering.
Time to go, Jill.
Well, I can't find nothing wrong here. I'll have to go back to the beginning.
And where's that?
The boiler room.
Oh, well, it's locked, so I'll have to come with you and open it up. You're the lucky ladies. Mop this up.
Come on, let's get this done so we can go off. Where to? Don't be stupid. The boiler room, of course. Well, what for? What do you reckon? Nah, there's nothing in it for me. All you have to do is keep watch. I'm the one taking all the chances.
And getting all the pleasure.
Oh, you don't think I enjoy it, do you?
Is the duck like water?
Oh, come on. It'll be too late if we don't start moving.
What's in it for me?
Look, I reckon if I can get what I want, you'll get what's coming to you too, okay? It'll depend on how generous he is and how well you keep knit.
Well, this is it. I'm going back to the laundry and covers for you in case the screws do a check. Now, don't be too long.
So nobody tells me what to do, right?
Yeah, right.
Good. Piss off.
Gotcha! How long have we got?
Oh, all the time in the world. Got someone keeping knit. But let's not waste any time getting started, eh?
God, you're beautiful.
Raring to go.
I've been thinking about you all night. I couldn't sleep.
Thinking about you too.
Yeah?
Some nice prezzies for me?
What? Oh, yeah, sure. Come here.
We didn't stay very long. Jill would have watched the monkeys all day, but I had to get back to work.
I'm very grateful for what you're doing for Jilly, Miss Ferguson. You didn't have to get involved.
Mrs. Coulson, I've spent half my life not getting involved. Don't get involved, you don't get hurt. That's been my philosophy.
Why the change?
I suppose you can only run away from your feelings for so long. Anyway, I came to tell you that the Governor has agreed Jill can visit. We're arranging it for this afternoon.
This afternoon? Oh, that's wonderful. What am I going to say to her? She's going to hate me for what I did to her father.
There she is. Head down, bum of the ear. Don't you ever take a break?
Oh, you didn't take very long.
No use packing the kitchen sink when I don't know where I'm going to live.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You could have set up your kiln in the living room there and I wouldn't mind it.
That might result in a few heated arguments. Hey, you sure it's all right if I spend a couple of nights here? I mean, with your no men rule, you know.
I'm telling you, we had a round-the-table discussion and everyone is really looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's what worries me. You got to call her.
Oh.
Or one of your usual clientele.
Oh, excuse me, this is Driscoll House, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hi, I'm Sandy Gillam.
I'm Judy Bryant. This is Wally Wallace.
Hi, Sandy.
Oh, I'm in a dreadful predicament at the moment. I just hope these people in here can help me. Wally, would you be a darling and mind my bag while I go and see the people in charge?
Well, you're actually talking to them now.
Oh!
How can we help you?
Oh, I'm dreadfully sorry. I thought you were the gardeners.
We are the gardeners. Actually, we're jacks of all trade, but mainly we're into helping people with problems.
Oh, yes. Well, I certainly hope you can help me with mine, you see. I've just run away from my husband. And this kind taxi driver told me about this place. Oh, you've just got to help me. I've got nowhere else to go. We've been married for almost 2 years, and barely a night has gone by that he hasn't come home and beaten me, black and blue, and for no reason. I used to love him so much.
Well, don't you worry. You can stay here as long as it takes to sort yourself out.
Oh, thanks, Judy. I can call you Judy.
Of course you can. Well, come on inside and meet everyone.
Thanks.
Oh, you did pack the kitchen sink in with.
Sorry?
Don't you pay any attention to him.
There's $50 there. It's not half of what you're worth. The booze and the fags is in the kit. Well, what's the matter? Don't you trust me?
Of course I do. Just like feeling it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Hey, when can I see you again?
Well, what's wrong with right now?
Hey, hold on. Someone's coming.
Come on, you'll have to hurry. You're about to call lunch.
Hey, your friend's right, love. You better get going. You know what they say about too much of a good thing. We'll see each other again. We'll see. Hey, what's the matter?
Oh, what are you trying to think of us or something?
You better get out of there before we all get caught. And don't forget the fans and the boots. I'll see you soon, Brandy, real soon.
What's wrong with you? Are you stoned or something? Stupid bloody whore.
Ah, here we are. More sausages for everybody.
What do you make of her?
Oh, I think she's absolutely charming. Don't you?
Oh, definitely. Just I think there's more to her than meets the eye.
Did she tell you her background?
Yeah, sort of. She's a minister's daughter, only child. They had her late in life.
She contacted them?
No, not yet. She said he'd kill them if they found out about it.
Well, I think she's very nice. She tries pretty hard to please people.
Yeah, I reckon a bit too hard. There's something she hasn't told us.
I didn't realise a humble sausage could taste so good. Are they ready yet?
Pass your plate over. Anybody who compliments my cooking gets double.
Isn't he wonderful? I just love it here so much. Everyone's being so nice to me.
Well, it's nice to have someone around the place that's a bit cheerful and someone that'll eat while he's cooking.
The smile you send out returns to you. It's an old Indian wisdom.
Oh, I thought that was an old Norman wisdom.
Oh, you know, Judy, Philip would just love you two so much. I wish he was here. It would make my day complete.
Who's Philip?
My husband.
I thought you said his name was James.
You told me his name was Andrew.
Oh, it is. It's all of them. His name's Philip James Andrew Edward Gillum.
Oh, right.
His mother had 4 girls before he came along, so he got all the names she'd been saving up. Isn't that a hoot?
Carter? Carter? Here, what's wrong? What's happened?
Choose what happened. You need a hand?
No, thanks, Mr. Palmer. I'm sure you've got enough to do without wasting your time here.
Oh, no.
Come on, Carter, tell me, what's wrong? What's happened? I've just found her. I don't know, there doesn't seem to be any signs of a fight. I don't know what's wrong.
So what's she doing in this area?
Oh, beats me. Look, we'll get her to a dorm. Have Sister Kelly look at her. Come on. You right?
Oh, thanks, Wally.
Sure you don't want another one?
No, thanks.
You know, for a vegetarian, he cooks up a pretty mean sausage sizzle.
It was just pandering to taste. Tonight, it's bean curd patties. That's soak up all that grease that you had.
Yeah, well, tonight I diet.
I see no appreciation.
Oh, you're wrong there. It could only be the bean curd. She's been telling me what a godsend you are.
Yeah, that's for sure. I don't know how I survive without him.
Come on, I can't take too much adulation, you know.
You found somewhere to live yet?
Well, I haven't actually, but I've been too busy to give it much thought.
Well, my place is a huge old mansion divided into 4 separate flats, and upstairs there are a couple of nice rooms vacant. Actually, it's an attic. So, if you like, I'll find out if they're still available.
Well, thank you very much, but sounds a little bit claustrophobic.
Well, they're quite spacious and cheap.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds great. It's worth looking at anyway.
Well, thanks, yeah, I appreciate it.
Oh, look at the time. Better be going.
Okay.
Oh, I'll see you at the next PIG meeting, Judy.
Oh, that's great, Anne. Is that in spite of what Douglas says?
In spite of what Douglas says. Oh, and I'll call you as soon as I find out about the attic.
Oh, thanks very much, yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Judy. Okay.
That's great news, isn't it? I mean, about Anne going to the PIG meeting?
The man in the moon smiles down on us all.
Is that another Indian wisdom?
No, Tonto said it.
Hi. Sorry I'm so late back. I completely lost track of time. Oh, hello. You must be Jill.
Yes, hello.
I'm Mrs. Reynolds. I'm a friend of your mother's. Why don't you take Jill outside, Miss Ferguson, then they can enjoy their visit in the sunshine?
Yes, Governor. Come on, Jill. Oh, I haven't told you about that new kennel I bought for Major yet, have I?
Here's that updated file on Crosby you asked for.
Thanks, Miss.
And I'd like to discuss Carter's behaviour with you when you've got a spare moment.
Is she causing trouble?
Well, not exactly, not with the women anyway, but there is definitely a problem.
Okay, give me 5 minutes.
Oh, hello.
Hello. I'd like to see Sandy Gillum. Is she in?
Oh, you must be her husband.
No, not yet. I'm her fiancé.
Fiancé?
Well, she is living here, isn't she?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
But she's not in at the moment. Look, why don't I get her to ring you?
Yes, if you would, I'd appreciate it. I've had a devil of a time tracking her down. Found the boarding house she was staying at just in time to find she'd moved. Fortunately, the landlady heard Sandy give this address to the taxi driver.
Well, she was running away from her husband.
Must be premarital nerves. We were to be married earlier in the week, but... Look, I'm not angry with her. I love her too much for that. I just want to speak with her. Just get her to call me.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Hello, Chilly. I hear you've been having a nice time with Officer Ferguson. She told me all about your visit to the zoo. How are things at the home, love? Are they treating you okay?
Yes.
Darling, I know you don't understand everything that's happened. You couldn't, not yet. But I just couldn't stand it anymore, love. As much as I loved your daddy, he was often cruel to me. Very cruel. So, just try and understand, okay?
You killed my dad.
Chilly, darling, I love you. I just... Could you take me back inside, please?
Well, well, well. Either we're aiming for the Housekeeper of the Year award or we're hiding goodies.
Jeez, but you just took 10 years off me.
Oh, I missed my vocation, didn't I? Should have been a plastic surgeon. Listen, have you seen Carter anyway?
No, not since she paid me off for keeping knit. She can be a real spook sometimes, you know that?
Yeah, well, it takes all kinds. You too could end up a ghost of your former self if you don't get back to that laundry and start mopping.
Yeah, I've just come there.
Speak of the devil.
Hi, everybody. I've just been to the most fabulous sale, and I bought a present for everyone. Now, this year... Oh, what?
Look, don't worry about the unwrapping. Judy'd like to have a word to you.
Judy, I've bought you the most wonderful
Philip
present of
Farnham. He came around here today looking for you. He said he was your fiancé.
Yes, that's right.
I thought you told me that you were already married.
Well, yes, I am, but... Oh, I couldn't tell Philip. I didn't want to upset his feelings.
Sandy, you can't go around getting engaged to people when you're already married.
But you've seen him. He's so sweet. I just love him to pieces. And he bought me a ring with the biggest diamond you've ever seen. Trouble is, I had to hock it just to survive. I can't upset his feelings again. He already feels dreadful about losing me my job.
Well, how did that happen?
Well, it was our first date. And the manager called me up to work just as I was about to go out with Philip. Well, Philip was devastated, so I took him along with me. I figured we could still have dinner in between serving the customers. Only the most dreadful accident happened. I spilt the soup in this man's lap and he swore at me. Well, you can't blame him. It was potato soup.
I still don't understand how Philip lost you your job.
Well, it upset him to hear the man use that bad language. So when the manager came up, that just got too much for Philip, so he just bopped them both in the middle of the nose. We had to have dinner somewhere else.
Sandy, let's talk seriously here for a minute, love. You're going to have to tell Philip that you're already married. You can't expect that poor guy to think he's going to marry you any day.
Oh, you're right, Judy. And you're such a wonderful friend. That reminds me, I bought him the most wonderful scarf. I'll give it to him when I tell him. That'll make him feel
just
better.
as long as you tell him, okay?
Oh, Wally, I found a lovely, lovely pipe for you. Here we are. And where's Judy's? Wait till you see this. It's the most heavenly pink gardening outfit. So every time you wear it, you can think of our first meeting.
It is pink, isn't it? Thank you very much.
Ah, don't thank me. I just wanted you both to know how much I loved you before I leave. Jenny, Rosie, wait till you see what I bought you. Come and have a look.
She's leaving?
Who knows? Pink, isn't it?
Do you want someone to be with you?
No. Thank you, Mrs. Powell. I'd rather be alone.
Miss Ferguson? Stay with Colson for a minute. I have to do my rounds.
All right.
Jilly hates me.
Look, you've got to give her time. Her whole world's been turned upside down.
She'll always hate me.
It's all my fault. I shouldn't have brought her here so soon.
No. I wanted you to. I wanted to try and explain why I did it. Help her understand.
Look, would you like me to get you
No,
something?
I don't need anything. If I could just have some time to myself. To think.
Look, I could have a talk to Jill. I could try and explain it to her.
I don't think it'll do much good.
But it's worth a try.
Tell her that I... Doesn't matter.
Well, she appears to be so lost, I can't make her out. Sometimes she's brash and crude, and other times she acts like a frightened mouse.
Do you think her changes of mood might be drug-induced?
I suppose it's a possibility, but I've seen no indication of drugs around.
Where's Carter now?
With Sister Kelly.
Okay, well, let me know when she's finished her examination and I'll come and see her. Come in. Yes, Joan?
It seems we have a problem with Colson, Governor.
Have you finished with me?
Yes, thanks, me. The visit didn't go well?
I think I've made a terrible mistake insisting that Jill visit her.
What's happened?
I just left Colson in her cell. She's deeply depressed over Jill's rejection.
I'll have a talk to her. Maybe if you put her in with the other women straight
No, I
away,
don't
it
think
might
that'd
be-
work. They have been giving her the silent treatment.
I'll have a talk to them. Of course, we should have a social worker for this sort of thing. I've been asking the department.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside, the roses grow. They don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.